Hey everybody, how's it going? Back today with some more Doki Doki Literature Club. Last time we were focusing on romancing Yuri, and you'll notice I'm not in cosplay today because I don't really want to have a wig headache. I can only really handle wearing that wig for so long, and it takes me a million years to comb it back out after. But that said, I've got a literature-based shirt on with some little ghosties, and hey Salt, nice to see you. But yeah, so we're gonna get right back into romancing Yuri in just a second. I figured I'd take a little bit just to say hi to everybody, and I made some, God, my hair stuck to the chair. That always happens. I made some hot chocolate, and I got cinnamon in it. Honestly, people don't make hot chocolate correctly 90% of the time. Oh, geez. Geez, that's a lot of different time zones to be doing the news in. But yeah, I appreciate having you here. And we're going to romance my autistic goth girlfriend with the big tibbies. Apparently, big tibby goth girls is a thing. And you know, I don't disagree. But yeah, so we're gonna romance Yuri. We probably will finish her path today. I can't imagine another day taking 3 hours. Never heard of them. Oh boy. But yeah, so we're gonna romance Yuri. There will be a brief triggery thingy. There's some knife/blood stuff, but nothing too graphic that you see, and I'll warn again right when we get there. And other than that, should be good. And then and there's going to be a discussion of depression from another character, and yeah, and then we'll loop back to the beginning and romance, I think, Natsuki next. So that'll be really fun. So I guess I should just get into it. Pop my little game out. Good, okay, when I move this, it doesn't actually move the thing on the stream. That's good. Oh boy. Okay. So yeah, we're romancing her, and next we're gonna be romancing our little manga lover. Because I always like to do Sayori last, because otherwise it makes me really sad. Okay. So here we are. Okay. So we gotta make Yuri happy. So I figure I'll do a few that I know that she'll like. She likes complicated words and intense words. And then you gotta throw in a couple obvious ones for the other girls, just so they don't get too upset. I really wish writing poetry was as easy as just hitting a couple words and then it just kind of happens on the screen for you. That would be so much easier. There we go. They should all be happy, but mainly a Yuri poem. Aw, man! I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Let's hope I remember all of the fucking voices I gave them. My throat was so sore after the last one. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Uh-huh. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remembering that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Eh? Weren't you just complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. But it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Oh, the meta humor in this game is always fun. Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. Hello. You're spacing out again.
Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else.
Huh? Is everything alright?
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things.
Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see?
Sayori shows me a big smile.
Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone.
Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back towards everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk.
Azura, what's up?
Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently?
Anything up with her? In what way do you mean?
Maybe I'm reading into it a little bit too much, but she seems a bit downcast today.
Oh, you think so?
I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. I have definitely done that. I am bored.
Maybe there is something on her mind.
But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Azura. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now.
No. It's important to me, too.
I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone.
Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest.
Person of interest? What do you mean by that?
I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Azura.
Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion?
Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know?
Huh?
She's been so much happier ever since she joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her.
What? No way. Sayori's always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it's always been.
Hee. You're so funny, Azura. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now.
Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her. But she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else. That's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh on me so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. There's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? Oh, I don't know. I wonder why that is. I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book. That would be why. It's definitely not anything else. It's just Yuri. Yuri was just looking at us. No one else. But she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord. Introvert. Haha, introvert. Been there. So I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. Sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those willingly sharing in that concern. Of course, there's certainly those who might find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. Sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings? Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Azura, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. Oh, you don't say, Yuri. You don't say. Yuri is definitely Dan Salvato flexing his writing skills is what she is. It's like everything he wants to say to like brag about how good he is writing this game, just sort of nudge at you. Like Monica keeps doing the meta stuff, but Yuri keeps like talking about in game in ways that are like a meta commentary on the game. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. And that is also true. And again, part of why my headcanon for Yuri being autistic is because, like, A, she does this thing where, like, she's really socially awkward, and doesn't know how to, like, communicate to people and keeps saying things that she shouldn't, but she's super perceptive of everyone around her. Like, to the point where she does start to get, like, socially anxious because she's like, oh, you know, I noticed just by, like, your posture and, like, the expression in your face that you were, like, deep in thought and were, like, worried about something. But I have literally no idea how to talk to you about that. And I saw a really interesting TikTok, I think the other day, from an autistic person who said that, like, it's not necessarily that autistic people are completely socially unaware. It's that we don't understand the rules. So, like, we'll notice things like, okay, like, I know you're anxious or I can tell what emotion you're feeling, but I don't know what are the ones that, like, you're communicating on purpose and what ones are things that I'm just picking up on that you're not intending to communicate. And then, like, sometimes people get really upset when it's like that underlayer, you start commenting on it, and they're like, oh, that's creepy, you shouldn't know that. I wasn't, like, there's like this unspoken layer that, like, neurotypical people have in their, like, behavior that autistic people, A, mostly don't. B, we're not sure what is what. We notice the behavior, but we don't notice, like, all the subtext. Because we understand what's happening, we just don't understand the context or the rules, so we don't know what to do about it. And every time we try and do something about it or act on our instincts, we get bullied when we're kids, and it's just like, great, I have no idea, like, it's not that I'm socially awkward and, like, completely obtuse. It's that every time I try and act, it seems like a lose-lose situation where there is no winning move to take. It's like a completely rigged game where no matter what I do socially, it's like I fucked it up somehow, and I can't, like, okay, I say nothing, and oh, I have no empathy, and I don't notice your emotions, and how could I be so cold? Okay, I notice them and I act on them. Well, that's creepy. How are you, like, it's really rude to, like, say what people are thinking. And it's like, I literally don't know what you want from me. You want me to act, but you don't want me to act on all of the information I have, but then I can't figure out what information I'm supposed to have and what I'm not supposed to have. It's like, and I think that's part of why, as an autistic person, I'm really good at not metagaming when I'm playing D&D, because that is what my social life is really like, is trying not to metagame. But at least in D&D, there's a fucking distinct separation of what I'm supposed to know and what I'm not supposed to know. So it's like, okay, there's rules, so I actually know what the fuck is happening. And I can actually, like, act on this information, or be like, okay, I know not to act on this stuff because I know my character doesn't know that. And I think that's part of why a lot of autistic people feel like inhuman, is because, like, we're either treated like robots because we don't know anything, or like some weird mythological creature who knows too much and sees too much. And it's like, I'm just a person, I'm just perceptive, that's all. Or completely not perceptive because there's so much fucking noise happening that I can't figure out what the hell's going on. And then everything gets so loud that I can't figure out what I'm feeling, and I'm much better at figuring out, like, oh, I can tell you exactly what you're feeling, but ask me what emotion I'm feeling when I'm in the middle of it. No idea. But anyway, Yuri is correct. There is so much, no matter how well you know somebody, there's always shit going on under the surface. If they, like, haven't let you in on it and haven't told you about it. So you just gotta kind of, like, you know, be patient with people and ask questions and communicate. And if people aren't ready, just kind of be like, okay, I don't know stuff, that's fine. So you think that there might be something behind it after all?
I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what they may be going on the inside of her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed your strange behavior today too. And I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she?
Well, I guess that was the case.
Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she?
I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze.
Sometimes a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her.
Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy. So I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you.
That's not a compliment, is it?
It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading?
Well, as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah, it seems like we unlocked all of Yuri's stuff already up until this point, which is dope. It means we didn't need the third one, but I like unlocking those like little conversation moments, even if we don't get a new like photo piece. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room.
Why don't we share our poems now?
Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me.
Hey, Deviant, what's up? How's it going? Nice to see you in here.
Sup? Man, we're right. I think we're almost done with the Yuri thing. We're just sharing our poems on the last main day. Serious echo, huh? I did not know that. Let me see if I can fix that.
There, is that better? That should be better. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think my camera was because I've actually switched. So look at this awesome shit I can do. I can do like, look at how high def this is. It's not in focus, but because I can't not change the focus on the fly. But I've got my my fancy big camera, and I can go super wide. Cause I've got my like digital camera and not like the webcam. So I got a bunch of cords in the mail over the last couple days. So I've got it hooked up to the AC, and I've got an HDMI thing. Hey Kai, how's it going? It's just letting people know that I got my new camera all set up. Am I flirting with you by showing tech? I don't know. You could take it as flirting. But yeah, I figured out the my game capture card also works with my camera. So I've got my camera hooked up to a capture card, and I've got it hooked up so it's running on AC, and it's all smooth. But yeah, it was echoing because it has an onboard mic that I thought I had muted in the capture side, but I hadn't in OBS. So we had an echo for a bit, but that's all good. We'll pretend that was on purpose. Oh, that's so good to hear. I'm very glad that it's good quality. I tried to make sure at the very least to start the audio is good, because I know like if this is grainy, you could at least kind of figure out what's happening, but audio quality is like super duper important. But it also helps that like my partner does adult streaming, so we already had like a pretty decent I think I have a blue Yeti snowball, so yeah, I have a decent mic. It's not like the highest end mic, but it's really solid for like a streaming setup. Hell yeah. Yeah. So but I also, I have a really decent camera because I model. I just, I use it for photos, so I hadn't set it up for live HDMI video because I don't really do video recording on it. We have done, but not like live like this. So I had to get all the cords. I was gonna do it last stream, but I discovered that I didn't have a micro HDMI cable. I just had regular ones. I'm like, fuck, I gotta order that, and I gotta order it because this won't run on battery for 3 straight hours. I'm very glad to hear that the quality's good, but yeah. Definitely figured I'd upgrade. And I've got my fancy RGB light that's all fancy colors. It really helps that I model anyway, so like, very new streamer, but I already start with decent quality because I already have some of the tech already, which is helpful. Also, Monica is making eye contact with me, which is always fucking weird. Hate when she does that. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Time to do stuff. Oh yeah, you don't play anything anyone wants to watch and your laptop would cry?
Yeah, I'm on a gaming laptop, but it's brand new and pretty high end. I can't play like a lot of like high end games, but I'm hoping to do a bunch of like just chatting streams and like puzzle games and stuff that are a little bit easier to run because my laptop also is not the biggest fan. It can handle this, but like if I got too much going at once, it gets a little bit cranky. Oh, good night, Kai. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you in another stream. And then I'm uploading the VODs are on here, and then I'm also uploading them to YouTube. So if you ever want to rewatch them and you miss them. Hey, Kai. Oh, your laptop's 3 years old and was a powerhouse back in the day? Yeah, laptops age quickly. They age quick. But yeah, this is pretty new. It's about a year old at this point because I got it at the beginning of the pandemic because my MacBook Pro keyboard stopped working. Like a bunch of the keys were falling out and the speakers stopped working. And I was like, I might as well just get a fucking PC so I can stream and do other things. Let's go to Natsuki first because she seems like the least embroiled in all of the bullshit that's happening. This one's alright. Alright? Well, yeah, about as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? No, gross. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you just ended up scaring me away? That's, it's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Ugh. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Oh? Maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. I love Natsuki when she, like, chills. Who writes this stuff? A man. But, genuinely, when I was in high school, I knew a girl like Natsuki. In fact, with my sister, I was Natsuki. Your next box will be a desktop, but you're waiting until the GPU shortage is less intense. Yeah. If people could really stop with the fucking crypto, that would be great. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, Natsuki holds her poem out to me like nothing even happened. Fucking Natsuki's so funny. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminished your wonder over the years, but today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in sunbeams and hold my hands. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail and set you free in my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. But if you let me be by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. I mean, yeah, it's not it's definitely teen poetry, but it suits their characters so well. Like, there's a skill to writing kinda amateurish poetry in a way that, like, suits each character. And, like, Natsuki's poems are very simple and not my style. Some of them are better than others. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kind of hard to write anything negative about the beach. So you decided to write about the beach first and then came up with the message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it, or whatever. Ugh, you can really see her doing that too. Making us write about a simple topic, then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. There's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. Aww. Yuri and Natsuki are kind of getting to be better friends and kind of chilling the fuck out a little bit. Okay. I think I'll talk to Yuri next since they were both writing the same thing.
Azura, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally.
Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me, but I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after.
Is that so?
Yuri gently smiles to herself. Aw, so cute. Look at her face.
This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this.
I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. That's kind of a shame.
Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice.
What do you mean?
Well,
Yuri smiles sadly. Aww, sad music. Don't do this to me, game.
Azura, during lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. Or people you just know would make really good friends. Cheer for people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type.
Oh my god, Yuri, I know exactly how you feel. Oh my god.
And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all.
People say that about you?
I'm not a know-it-all, Azura. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy.
Yeah. Again, all of this rings true to me, especially as like a neurodivergent person with a weird body. So they're the hottie auntie? The hottie-ottie? Yeah, she's so hot. And definitely autistic. So autistic. Like, everything she says in this game is exactly what, like, being a teenager was for me. Or even in university, because, like, when I went on birth control, my hips got really big. Because I was always, like, super skinny beanpole. Like, super androgynous looking. Had short hair. Kind of grew it out in high school. And then by university, when I started birth control, my butt got huge. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I was always made fun of as a kid for being too small and for not, like, being a woman properly, which, spoiler alert, not a woman. Wow, I'm non-binary. Who would have guessed? But, like, yeah, this is exactly what being neurodivergent feels like. Is, like, people think you're a know-it-all because you're, like, so excited to share your knowledge and you want to bond with people based on your passion. And then people, like, get put off by it, and then, like, won't talk to you and won't explain what you did wrong, and then you're like, oh, I don't fucking know anything. Like, I know stuff in books, but it's not the kind of stuff that makes you friends until, you know, you get older and you find other neurodivergent people who, like, you can actually just bond based on your interests. Like, the friends I have now, most of us, if not all of us, are neurodivergent. I don't think everyone, my partner's not, but a lot of us are, and it means that, like, when I, like, info dump on something, people are, like, excited to hear me be passionate about something, and then when they info dump about something, even if it's something I know nothing about and don't super care about, I don't care about what they're saying because of what they're saying. I care about what they're saying because of the passion and the joy behind it. And finding other people who have that same experience is, like, it's such a weight off your shoulder to feel like it's not a losing battle to try and connect with people, and you can actually just, like, really just share things, and the genuine way you express yourself is, like, this shared language. You never thought of yourself as neurodivergent, but it rings true. I mean, it depends on, like, what's going on, but, like, I don't know. Even if you don't think of yourself as neurodivergent, some of this is familiar for anyone who has, like, trauma, or, like, any kind of mental illness, even if it's not, like, autism or ADHD, like, I don't know, my PTSD, like, I have PTSD as well, and it's very difficult to kind of detangle what comes from the PTSD and what comes from the autism as far as, like, my social experiences, and I don't think you can. I think they're so intertwined. Like, how I express my trauma is influenced by my autism, and how I express my autism is influenced by the fact that I have all of this trauma. And I think there's a certain level where, like, if you're kind of a lonely, introverted kid, some of this will definitely ring true anyway. But, yeah. It's like, Yuri's kind of like a goth, shy version of, like, Hermione. Kind of. It's like, you know. Yeah, it's just, or, like, I feel like a lot of people would get this too if they're, like, you know, queer, where you don't express yourself in, like, the expected way, and then people are like, I don't know, just reject you for whatever reason, and then you can't really figure out why, so you just, like, kind of go internal and then just read books instead. Oh yeah, no, I'm totally fine sharing. I mean, it's part of why I wanted to play this game is because so many of these characters share experiences with me, and I really love that part. Hello, Rob, nice to see you. But yeah, I really love how this game is so open and, like, puts these, like, mental health conversations, like, out in the open in a way that, like, doesn't really put pressure on people to share things, and they're so, like, real and genuine feeling, and they resonate so deeply, and, like, you know, a lot of these characters resonate with me in, like, different ways, but I've got, you know, autism and social anxiety in common with Yuri, and then, I mean, you'll see with the other characters when we get there, like, what I have in common with the other characters. You'll see. But, yeah, it's just really nice to, like, have that representation and to see, like, oh, these characters reflect what it's like to be mentally, like, a mentally ill girl or someone who's perceived as a girl in high school so perfectly. Your social anxiety is probably level with, like, Yuri or more. Yeah. I mean, she definitely opens up more with the main character than she does with anybody else, and, like, it kind of goes to show how much, like, someone just being patient, being like, no, it's okay, like, makes a huge difference. But yeah, I love sharing this sort of stuff, because I remember when I was younger, I felt like so incredibly alone because I wasn't diagnosed with anything. I didn't know I was autistic. I didn't know any other autistic people. I felt so incredibly alone. And then being able to like not only see this game and see my experience reflected back at me, not just the autism, but the experience of being autistic and alone. Yeah, and the deepness of it. Like, that's really nice, but then also seeing, like, neurotypical people or people who don't have the particular issue that one of the characters has, really connecting with them and understanding it and being like, oh, like, showing empathy and being like, oh, there are neurotypical people out there who aren't going to immediately hate me. There are non-autistics out there, like holistic people out there, who aren't going to hate me because I'm autistic, because they see Yuri and the things that she has in common with me, they don't immediately get angry about, and they connect with her. So it gives, like, that sort of way to connect and that, like, shared language, which is part of why I love cosplaying her so much. Hi, Mara. Thank you for the raid. Came in a little bit of a deep ass moment. Ah! I love you too. I love you guys. Miss you, Mara. It's been so long. You were falling asleep, but Mara raid? Yep, makes sense. And yeah, Deviant, empathy is a skill. Like, oh, you left from one. But yeah, the skill of empathy, like, I feel like there's, like, different kinds of empathy, and some kinds of empathy are learned and some are more innate. And, like, I mean, you can't train yourself necessarily to mirror someone else's responses. And I try and be really careful with discussions of empathy, because I have been good friends with diagnosed narcissists and sociopaths in my life that have been really lovely, genuine, kind people. They just don't experience, like, that, like, immediate empathy of, like, oh, I feel what you feel. But they'll feel things like, they can cultivate a practice of compassion where, you know, they might not feel what you feel, but they can have ethics and care from, like, a logical perspective and from emotional perspective of caring for you without necessarily feeling exactly what you feel. And I think sometimes the overemphasis on empathy can be an issue when it's like, oh, you have to feel what other people feel. It's like, well, you might not be able to, or you might think you are and then be stepping over them and what they're really feeling. But, like, we can all develop a skill of listening and patience and caring, and regardless of whether you feel empathy innately or not, you can develop that as, like, a practice, as a thing you do. Rather than feeling empathy, you can do empathy and you can do compassion. Night, Kai. Yeah, social anxiety definitely helps with patience. I find, I mean, I've struggled with patience with autism, just because it, like, if I'm upset, it can be really hard to be patient because I'm, like, freaking out and, like, overwhelmed by my own emotions. But I think I've taught myself how to, like, be like, oh, this is what's happening to me. I need to step away from the situation because I want to be compassionate and I can't right now. So I will just be like, hey, I'm not responding to you the way you deserve. I'm going to step back and calm down and come back to you with the energy level that you deserve. Yeah, Deviant, like, I think, like, a lot of the people that I'm friends with have a similar outlook where it's not about, like, where you are. It's about how you respond. Like, you know, anyone can have, like, mental health struggles, but I think the important thing is, like, listening and having an open mind, and a lot of I statements of, like, I feel this way, not you're doing this to me. Hi, Sky. Yeah, deep discussion within Doki Doki. Just Yuri shared some stuff about like feeling like she doesn't know anything, doesn't know how to socialize, and feels really awkward, and like makes all her friends in books. And like there's so many people who learn to socialize through fictional characters, and I think it's really important to let people explore through fiction, because it's such a like safe place to like escape and learn in a kind of non-confrontational way. It's like so much safer for some people, and I think like it's a thing I've seen a lot online recently, where people have been overly protective of their interpretation of fiction, and not letting other people like safely explore stuff on their own without judgment, because like I mean, this game can get really dark later on, and again, I'm gonna keep the triggering stuff as separate as I can, and warn for stuff as it comes. But like, I really appreciate exploring, like the way it's handled is like it's done really well, and I think, you know, not letting that sort of fiction happen doesn't change the feelings that are behind it. It just doesn't give people a safe place to let that out and talk about it and work on it. But yeah, I just fiction's always been super important to me, and like this sort of representation means a lot, even within like a horror game, or what ends up being a horror game. Like these deep connective moments in the first half of the game is part of why I wanted to make this playthrough as accessible as possible. Because a lot of people understandably can't handle the horror half and then miss out on this part. So it's just such a good like representation of autism and all of this stuff, and like a lot of people who would benefit from this part wouldn't be able to experience it because of the other parts of it. So oh god, you guys have exams? I'm so glad I'm not in school. Good luck with your exams. I should actually show her my poem though at some point. I have all of these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Azura. I speak too slowly. I second guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Yeah, poetry sharing. This part, when I played this the first time, I fucking cried. And I do not cry at games most of the time. When I actually played this my first playthrough, Sayori is the girl I like the most. I'm sort of connected to her feelings. Well, Yuri too, in terms of her depth. Yeah, the first time I played through, I was definitely immediately attracted to Yuri. Because of how many similarities we had. But like Sayori too, like I saw a lot of my sister in Sayori. And like quite honestly, like the like best girl competition, like Yuri might be the one I connect with the most, but all of these girls are so well written and so lovely. Even Natsuki, who could be a little bit mean sometimes. But you'll see why she's like that. Roses are red, violets are blue, grass is green. At least that's what I thought. Every time I close my eyes, I go to my world of dreams. I see blue grass, green roses. When I open them, it goes back to normal. My world of dreams has endless possibilities. That's really nice, Rob. And hashtag just Monica from the beginning. Yeah, I know a couple of people who were very much into Monica for a bit, And then suddenly we're like, oh no, Monica, what have you done? But yeah, like Yuri was just saying, like what I had been saying is like, you know, just being there for someone can give people a lot of space. And I mean, obviously, like have boundaries if people are like, you know, taking advantage of you or pushing you or hurting you. But you know, there's a difference between like, I don't know, like giving, like setting boundaries because someone's hurting you and being really strict as far as what kinds of like neurological, like neurotypes you'll allow in your life. Like there's a difference between being like, you know, you're not allowed to treat me like this and you're not allowed to feel that way, which is so very different. Oh, have a good lurk, Rob. Thanks for dropping by. Monica is quite dismissive. I chose her, but her attitude is quite dismissive. That's why I distanced away for a bit. Like, she doesn't care or anything on what's happening in the club room. And then you realize why at the end. Yeah. A lot of the, like, behavior that seems... Like, even Yuri being, like, really anxious and weird at the beginning. Or, like, Sayori being, like, bubbly and kind of ditzy. Like, all of them have more depth once you, like... step into their perspective for a second. Like, if you don't immediately like freak out and actually just like sit back and be like, okay, why are you like this? And again, like the way Natsuki behaves is in some ways a little bit unacceptable, but like, you know, it's one of those things where, like, if you understand where she's coming from and give her the space, she's not as mean as she seems like she is. Like, she can be standoffish and a little bit rude, but she can, like, you know, she really opens up it. And you'll see in our next loop through. We're getting there. I gotta, like, keep going. Yeah, have a good lurk. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands. But this time, she's smiling as she does it. Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Okay. This is the sequel to her first poem that she showed us, I think. Ghost Under the Light, Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows, closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility. But I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding, I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. It's so romantic and cute. Like, considering, like, how bittersweet the first, like, and how melancholy the first version of, like, this kind of poem was, the beginning of the game. Like, her being like, oh, you know, I let go of everything and just, like, don't worry about understanding and just, like, open my heart. It's so cute. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. Also, this clearly isn't the poem that Natsuki said she wrote about. Meaning I'm probably the only one she's showing this to. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri is having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try and hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri smiles timidly at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. She's so cute! She's so cute! Oh my god, I love her so much. Okay. Yeah, I know. So, isn't she so cute? It makes me so happy. Like, she's so nervous and shy, and I'm like, oh god, I know how that feels. That's so fucking adorable. Oh, I love her so much. Okay, I'm going to Sayori. Monica makes me weird.
It's nice, I guess.
Come on, I can already tell you don't like it.
Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri.
I didn't write this for anyone specifically.
Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. It's okay. You're making new friends just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right?
Hey! Hello, Richerox. Thank you for the raid. It's nice to see you in here. Make yourself comfy. We're getting near to the end of the first loop through. And Sayori is not telling me something, I can tell.
In this club?
Well, of course I am.
Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Azura.
Sayori, is there something wrong?
Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today.
Alright. Just tell me if you need anything.
I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now.
If you insist.
Hey, I'm gonna go home a little early today.
Sayori?
Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. How am I? I'm doing great. Yeah, we've gotten a bit deep already. Yeah, Mara, you are a Sayori, if anything. If anyone in this game, you are a Sayori. Okay, Monica.
Hi, Azura. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival?
Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought.
Okay, no pressure. Whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Uh-huh. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem.
Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands.
Your style's gotten so refined, Azura. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she?
Well, I guess so. Yeah, I've been noticing how much you spend with her. How much time you spend with her. Brand new day? Yeah, I haven't played any Doki Doki mods. I've beaten this game before, but yeah, I've never played any mods. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple of days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. That's... Aha! It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the clubroom every day. Reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. Makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know. Alright, I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up, so if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it can be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm gonna hurt her. Oh, it's a really interesting take. Cool. Yeah, I might have to check it out. I might not necessarily stream that just because I know, like, DDLC stuff can be, like, really, really hard. And, like, I'm only really comfortable doing this as a stream because I know stuff. I know stuff. So I can, like, warn for people. If you dive and think deeply, you can see some hints in their words and behavior and how they express their poems. Like Sayori being too cheerful. Her expression made me realize she is sad inside because I met some that seem happy, yet when I talk to them at midnight, they show their true self. Yuri being like the silent type. For me, she's deep, and the mysterious ones are so unpredictable. Natsuki acts mean, but I know it's a facade. Monica, I can't read her till she broke the fourth wall. Yeah. Yeah, like, there's definitely some, like... Oh, sorry, I don't have any bots yet, because I haven't hit affiliate yet, but... I should be getting bots at some point. I just haven't set that up yet. It's just me. It's just me right now. But yeah, Monica gets creepier and creepier as this game goes on. Sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Oh, you don't need an affiliate for that? Okay, have a good look, Richard. Yeah, then I'll set up a bot. I just have no idea how to do that. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. Yeah, Mara, I'll probably ask you and Salt how to figure that out. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. This is only like... I've only streamed a couple times. The lady who knows everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather. Lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. When all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Oh boy. Try to find the fucking... Where was I? Okay. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. Okay, yeah, thanks, Salt. Yeah, I'll probably ask you stuff, like, even if I can just set up some basic stuff, like, I don't know. I'll probably have a bot for, like, my pronouns, or, like, where my social medias and stuff are, like, just basic shit. Yeah, isn't this poem, like, really fucking deep? Abstract poem. Yeah, it's abstract. Definitely there's some meaning there that isn't immediately apparent your first way through. But she definitely seems like she's looking for answers and can't find any, and thinks maybe there just aren't any answers to find. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I didn't really put much thought into it. Simple chat commands and that are simple enough to set up. Okay, great. Yeah, I don't necessarily need anything super complicated, at least not yet. I don't need a broken death counter yet. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. Seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Okay, Monica. Okay. People aren't two-dimensional. You mean one-dimensional? Because I'm like, Monica, you literally are two-dimensional, actually. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. So much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. That's actually good advice. Definitely finding people that you can share stuff with is great. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Eh?
Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club.
Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it.
Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen.
Is it, Yuri? Is it? Is there foreshadowing happening? Is that what's going on? I wonder. I wonder if you're foreshadowing something, Dan Salvato. I wonder if you're foreshadowing. I don't think you're foreshadowing. You gotta tell me outright if you're foreshadowing. Because, I mean, it's not like there's stagnating hair happening right now, is there? Salt. Oh boy. Right? Oh no. It's okay. I won't let it get to the actual bad thing. Yet. In your books, maybe. You have to drive us home, but oh boy. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you'll be home in like half an hour, so we should be in the depths of it by then. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here.
It seems you're right.
Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee.
Natsuki, please show him decency.
Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early.
Is that so? I hope she's alright.
Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations. So, let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri?
I'm useless.
No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now, Natsuki's pouting too. Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere.
Atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere.
Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Yeah, Natsuki be like, It's like, you don't think I'm talented, Monica? Fuck you! I am talented enough to bake! Her fucking cupcakes are like the best I want cupcakes every time we play this fucking game. Every time. I'll have to like do a BRB to go get like... I don't have cupcakes, but I have like little Swiss rolls. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Azura. The one who is truly useless. Cupcakes! Cupcakes! Okay, superior way to eat cupcakes is you twist the bottom off, stick it on the top, and then you have a little sandwich so that the icing's in the middle. That is how you eat cupcakes. I figured that out when I was like in university, and I've never eaten a cupcake not doing that since. You twist off the bottom and you stick it on the top. Sandwich. And they don't have the weird, like, awkward, like, I don't know how to get this in my mouth without icing getting on my nose. Maybe that's just me. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It'd probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? Getting icing on your nose can be cute. It's a deliberate style choice. True. I will say every time I eat, like, hot wings, I get this entire section of my face is covered in hot sauce. Which, first time getting hot sauce and a lip piercing is a bad time. And recently I've discovered how to get hot sauce in the back of my sinuses. Don't ask me how I did that. It's completely accidental. And it sucked for like a good like half an hour of just like burning like in the back of my nose, like right here. How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that?
I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help.
Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's gonna give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway.
Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own? Azura may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, you may be more suited to assisting me with the decorations.
Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Azura to...
What are you saying? It'll be extremely meticulous work.
And baking isn't? So what do you think? Guys, Let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Azura to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said...
I'm surprised as well.
Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Azura, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you.
Of course.
Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm going to go with Yuri, because she's my girl. She's my girl this time around. Well, I'll probably be the most useful helping out Yuri.
Me?
Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki, I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No. I was just saying. Ugh. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Azura? Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things, so I think your assistance will be very useful.
That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. Not helpful for baking. You don't want sour baking. I mean, that can be a choice, but not for cupcakes. So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited?
Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit.
Do you feel the same way, Azura? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. Sourdough bread is some good stuff. I disagree. I'm sure it's good for other people. I really don't like sourdough. I also really don't like I don't know, like lemon pies and shit. Like key lime pies. Not a fan. Not a fan. I'm so picky. I'm such a picky eater. It's a problem. What about you, Natsuki?
Natsuki.
What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything.
No, that's not what I meant at all.
Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room.
I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Azura picked me, and also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea, and nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so...
I get it. Kind of surprised, though.
Why?
Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden.
I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad.
Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. I need more water. My throat is hurting. Rah! Oh my god. God. Talking for like 3 straight hours is a whole lot. Especially doing the high-pitched voices. Like, doing girl voices is so fucking hard. I have no idea how actual girls talk that high-pitched all the time. Suppose you get used to it, but like, oh my god, I do not speak that high-pitched ever. Narration and voice acting is difficult. It really is. Like, I'm doing better at it than I thought I was going to. And I like managed to like give them all slightly different voices, and like I can keep track of them in my head. Yuri's is the easiest because it's just my voice with less intonation in it. Natsuki's isn't too hard. It's just like a Valley Girl sort of voice. And then Monica's, I guess, would be the next difficult because it's a little bit high pitched. And then Sayori's is the hardest. Which I'm okay with hers being the hardest for reasons you'll see later. What When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kind of appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event.
I believe you.
Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. All right, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. Oh, Monica. Hey, Tara! Nice to see you in chat. How are you doing? I'm gonna take a fucking another hydration break. Goddamn throat. Hello, friend. It's nice to see you. Hope you've been doing good. How's your day been? I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. I turn around.
Sorry. I realize that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend.
Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number?
I think that would be the best way, yes.
All right, then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers.
Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday.
Eh? My house?
Is that a problem?
No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you.
I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house.
All right. In that case, it won't be a problem. Been well. Went to run some errands. Just popping to say hello and good luck with Doki Doki. Hell yeah. Nice to see you. Good luck with your errands. Hopefully they go well. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Have a good trip. Total power move. Definitely total power move. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. If I was Yuri, I wouldn't necessarily want a boy in my room just yet. She's just getting used to like sharing her words with people, let alone her fucking room. My fave is to open the phone to the dialing pad and get someone to call themselves. Oh my god. I've never done that before. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself.
Don't underestimate yourself, Azura. I think that we'll make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something.
Wait, you don't actually think that, do you?
I don't know.
Welcome back, Richard.
It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me.
You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do.
But...
Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking, right?
I didn't realize.
I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me?
Yuri thinks really hard again.
She looks straight into my eyes for a long while.
I believe you.
As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression.
And I'm really looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. As if something hasn't already started happening. She, wrote a poem specifically for you, and It's like, oh, I feel so much about you, and like, as long as I'm doing stuff with you, I feel happy. Like, shit's already happening, buddy. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. And I think it's 6:30. It's been 90 minutes. We're about halfway through stream. I think I'm going to take a quick BRB. I want to make another hot chocolate for my throat and make a little bathroom break. But it shouldn't be more than like 5 minutes, if that. It won't take me a super long time to get the hot chocolate going. When do characters develop nosebleeds? That's the second half. That's probably in the horror half, which any bleeding will be a separate stream. Other than there is a thing coming up with bleeding, but I will warn. I'm the clueless protagonist of a dating sim, so obviously I have no idea what's going on. I mean, Mara, are you saying that about me playing Doki Doki Literature Club or me in real life? Because I have no idea what's going on most of the time. Hot cocoa is amazing. I put cinnamon in mine, so yeah. I'm going to quickly BRB and go make some more hot chocolate and give my throat a little bit of a break. But then I will be right back. So, I'll see you in a minute. Oh my god, go. am back. I feel like I am unmuted now. Okay. Also, hi, Pint. Yeah, so cinnamon in hot chocolate. So, I start with milk in a mug, and I put in the chocolate sauce that goes in, like, on ice cream. And I mix that, put it in the microwave for a minute, take it out, put cinnamon in it, just, like, enough to cover, like, the top. Stir that in, put it in for another 30 seconds. And then take it out, stir it a little bit more, and then voila, hot chocolate. Hate when that happens. Yeah, I think I hit the mute button so that, like, when I was walking around my room, you guys wouldn't hear me talking. But yeah, so, yeah, hot chocolate's good. Hot cocoa is not necessarily the greatest for sore throats. Like, the heat and stuff is great. But yeah, the milk can kind of clog up your vocal cords. I just don't care because I drink so much dairy anyway. My throat's pretty used to working through, like, a little bit of milk. But, like, normally what I do, like what I did last time, was cider. But we're out of apple juice. We don't have enough apple juice, so cocoa it is. And I got cinnamon in my throat. Good. God, that hurt. But yeah, just warm beverages. There we go. I got the cinnamon out of my throat. No more happy juice. No more happy juice. No, just milk, which is just moo juice. I've got the cow juice. Ugh. Okay, so back to the game. I gotta hit the button first. Let me see. There we go. Ba-ba! It is already Sunday. No game. Today's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday, but alright. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Time flies when you're advancing the plot. That is true. That is true. Are you heading out now? Thank you for stopping by, Richard. It was nice to see you. And yes, I will enjoy the hot cocoa in my fancy little mug. It was really great to have you. Yeah, and then also when I was on my break, there are a lot of dogs in this house. I think there's 5 or 6 dogs in this house, between the 3 other apartments. And they're so fucking cute. I had to go out this morning to get, I'm doing one of the Dimitrescu daughters from Resident Evil 8. So the costume's on its way, but I had to get, like, a little sickle. And instead of, I'm extra, so I just bought a real one off of Kijiji. So it's on the shelf over there. There's a big rusted black iron sickle, like hand scythe, just sitting on my fucking shelf. But when I went out to go get it, all of the dogs, or well, not all of them, but a couple of the dogs were playing out front in the yard. And I had to wade through dogs to get out of the yard to go get a fucking sickle. And then I had to hold it up in the air because the dogs kept trying to, like, jump up on me to play with it. And the two that were out playing this morning were puppies. So they're just like these giant, because they're bigger breeds. So these giant puppies trying to jump on me to play with a fucking scythe. I'm like, and they're black puppies. I'm like, I feel like the gothest person ever, that I have just a bunch of big black dogs trying to get to my scythe. But they're so cute, and I feel so bad that I can't really pet them. But my plan is, when I get top surgery, once I pay that off, is to get myself a dog, because I want a dog so badly, and I want to, like, train like some service stuff. But I just don't feel like it's I can't afford it right now. And like, I have to save up for surgery. But also, I don't want to get a dog and then in, like, I don't know, like 6 months when it's still kind of a puppy, or like still bonding to me, depending on what age we get, like it not being able to get near me or cuddle me because my whole chest will be damaged and sensitive. So like I don't think it's fair to like a new dog to like get a dog and then be like, oh well, me and my partner are both going to Montreal for a couple days and we're gonna leave you with someone you've never met before while you're still bonding with us, and then when we come back you can't touch me. Like I don't think that's fair to a dog. So the plan is to wait until after surgery, make sure that my like debt is as paid off as we can get it, just so that like, you know, if anything happens I want to be able to afford like medical care and stuff, and make sure my finances are in place, because I want to, you know, it's not like her where she's cheap as shit. Like snakes don't usually need vets very often. Like you have to kind of, I don't know, like they can get infections and stuff, but you kind of have to fuck up or be like introducing stuff into their tank that you haven't cleaned for them to get sick, because they can't get sick from you when they don't really eat that much. So, because I got her for free, got the tank for free, got half the shit in her tank for free, and everything else is like you gradually build it over time. The most expensive thing in her tank is, other than the tank itself and her, which I got for free, is the fucking dirt. So, snakes are easy. Dogs not so much. I'm probably not getting a Newfoundland. My partner really wants he loves big dogs. I do not like drooly dogs. It wasn't dirt cheap. No, unfortunately, because it's all coconut. So, which maybe explains why the little fern I was trying to grow is now dying. I think it's nearly completely dead at this point, but you know, whatever. The dogs by which I was swarmed. No, one, it's not a black lab, but it kind of looks like, it's like a black hound sort of thing. I'm not great with identifying breeds by sight, and the other one looks like a cross between like a Bernese mountain dog with like a border collie, which is exactly the kind of dog I'd want. I love border collies and like Australian shepherds and Bernese mountain dogs. Hound of Baskervilles. Yes. Yeah. Basically that. Just like a big black dog. Just like a dog. But yeah, I don't super like drooly dogs. Or ones with like the droopy eyes. I don't like curly haired dogs as much. Just like the more of a dog, like the closer to like wolf or just mutt that it looks, like the more happy I'm with it. I hate small dogs. I've had a lot of really, really bad experiences with small dogs, so. What they say. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. What they mean. I send them texts all day, every day. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I'm hoping to get a dog someday. It just won't be, it'll probably be sometime next year. And oh my god, if I could get fully vaccinated so that I can like fucking make enough money to pay things off, that would be fantastic, because it is very hard to work right now. Corgis are cute. Corgis are cute, and a friend of mine has had a Shiba Inu. Those are kind of cute, though it depends on the one. Some sheeps can be kind of annoying. And then my other friend has a Australian Shepherd mixed with like some sort of terrier thing, and it's cute as hell and it's nice. My issue is just like I've been attacked by like a tiny boxer terrier. I've been attacked by wiener dogs. I've been attacked by chihuahuas. I've been bitten by most small dogs I've been around my entire life. They've all tried to bite me. To the point where like I had a straight up phobia of dogs entirely until I moved to Toronto, because the only like I'd had multiple experiences of small dogs attacking me, and like I'd only ever known two bigger dogs when I was like before I moved to Toronto, because I had my one uncle's dog when we were really little was like a really dopey German Shepherd that was super patient and chill, and then a friend of mine in high school had a couple Huskies that were pretty like they're as chill as Huskies get. Like they wouldn't bite you or attack you, they just jump on you. which I have chronic pain, so that's kind of an issue, but it's not like they were attacking me. But other than those, like, every other experience I'd had with dogs had been really bad for quite some time. So it's taken me a while to kind of go from, like, really distrusting dogs to liking them. Whereas, like, I've always been down with cats, but Snake is scared of cats, partner's allergic, so. So many people think that they don't have to train small dogs and it always results in problems. Yes. They don't train them. They think that, like, they don't train them. They also don't treat them like dogs. They'll just, like, pick them up or, like, train them in, like, one or two things, but then as soon as they, like, get a little bit anxious, they'll just pick them up and carry them around rather than, like, training them through the anxiety and the fear. Because, like, if you have, like, a husky that, like, gets a little bit nervous when it's on walks, you have to train it through that because you can't carry a husky home. That dog is going to have to walk back to the house at some point. Like, unless you're fucking huge, a full-grown husky has to walk home. But, like, my aunt had wiener dogs. So if they, like, didn't like something for, like, 3 seconds, she'd just pick them up and carry them home. So they just got really avoidant, which meant that, like, they never learned how to deal with their issues at all. They just, I don't know, they just get, like, worked up and never learned how to deal with being worked up and then would just bite you. Which they never would with her, but anyone who ever visited the house, because they weren't socialized to deal with that, they just bite you. Which really sucked because one year there was one point where I stayed with them for 3 weeks and I was just bitten by dogs all the time. And I mean, yeah, they're small dogs, so it didn't hurt too bad, but it's still, like, really traumatizing to get bit by a dog. And, like, my only bad experience with cats were, like, occasionally a cat would, like, scratch me, or when I was really little, my brother's cat would, like, love nibble me, and I'd, like, try and pull away and it would bite down on me, but I just learned, you know, if it's nibbling on me, just to either leave it alone or push my finger further in and they'd let go. Cats are pretty easy to understand. You just kind of leave them alone. They'll come to you when they want, and then they'll let you know when they're done. But yeah, I had a lot of bad experiences, and then as I got older, I met, like, a couple, like, really good bigger dogs, so I just wouldn't want a small dog, just because I wouldn't trust them. And also, like, I want to train my dog to do, like, service tasks, specifically body blocking me when I'm out in public, because people bumping into me causes me, like, a lot of damage and pain, and I don't think a small dog would be able to do that effectively. They just get stepped on. So I would need a dog that's at least, like, thigh height when it's fully grown, because otherwise it's not gonna work. Anyway, game. I want to at least get through Yuri's section before 8, so. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? Hey, Saul, welcome back. I just did, like, a BRB. Basically, we experienced, I think when you left, we just did, some poems, and then figured out what everyone's doing for the school festival that's on Monday. So it's Sunday now, and it had been Friday. And yeah, so we're gonna go do some decorating stuff with Yuri. But Sayori left and went home early, so we're just checking on her because she's been acting weird. I decided to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. And yeah, so this section has, like, content warning for a discussion about depression. Nothing, like, visual happens that's, like, super dramatic, but there will be a discussion of depression, just as a heads up. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we're family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Azura. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It's been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Sayori is your spirit sister? Yeah, she's very you. And very my actual sister. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? That's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. So it's just me and Yuri then. Yeah. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. Probably why your actual sister loves you. Yeah, you guys have a lot in common. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Izura. Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. Hey, Captain Caboose. Thank you for the raid. It's nice to see you. Just for all the raiders, we're in the middle of a little conversation that's going to get into depression. So just a content warning for anyone if that's a trigger for you. Just want to let you know. Nothing graphic, just a conversation. I'm trying to stay away from like the horror sections of this game for this stream. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's really good to see you. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express all my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. Also, Captain, let me know how your stream went. I hope it went well. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have even been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Izura. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, Izura? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. You were wondering what was going on? Hello. Yeah, it's conversation depression, so yeah. But, yeah. Poor Sayori. He's having a hard time. It's nice to see you in chat. Just talking to our friend about why she's been upset recently. Apparently we just haven't noticed that she's been like this for a while, which that happens with depression. Definitely a lot of people didn't realize I had depression for a while until I came out and told them. It took me my dad a really long time to like accept that me and my sister had depression. Like he's a really supportive guy and I love my dad to bits, but yeah, it was really hard for him to sort of accept that we weren't okay. And that like there was nothing really he could do about it. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? And depression will tell you you're worthless even though you're not. Your brain just lies to you because brains can be mean and malfunction sometimes. Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that is exactly what it feels like. It feels like you don't deserve when other people like you. Hence the username. Yeah. Damn lying depression brain. Yep. Yeah, depression will lie to you and it'll tell you you're worthless and there's no point in doing anything because, like, I don't know, for me, I didn't even necessarily get self-loathing. It wasn't so much that, like, I don't deserve love, it's just that no one does. Like, I deserve better, but, like, that's not going to happen, and I can't just expect people to like me. But my depression was secondary to PTSD. But yeah, it's, your brain will tell you, like, oh, there's no point, and a lot of people with depression, it won't even be obvious that they're depressed because they're not necessarily openly sad all the time. Like Sayori earlier, the main character mentions that she'll get really into something and then she'll just lose interest in it in a couple weeks. And that's really common, is just like losing interest in things and losing motivation. It's difficult to keep that energy up when your brain just keeps going, why? What's the point? Like, nothing matters. And like, it can feel like nothing matters, especially when you're at the depths of it. But this is why if you can get access to it, you get therapy or medication, or you talk to somebody about it. Especially if it's something where, like, talking with people and people showing that they really care is not helping. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking medication and getting professional help. Like, even if you're worried about, like, medication making you feel different, that can happen. I've definitely been on antidepressants that made me not feel like myself anymore, but that just means you're not on the right ones. And every medication will, like, hit people differently, and it takes a while to, like, get the medication that works for you. And like, medication isn't for everybody, but it's worth reaching out and trying to get help, because you're not worthless. I don't mean to be crude, but you're the sperm that won. Like, you exist and you deserve to exist. You only get one life on this earth, and you only get one chance to be here. And, like, sure, maybe in the end you'll become plant food, but in the meantime, you get to be conscious for a bit, and you might as well, like, make the most of it and experience things and make other people happy and make existing here as nice as it can be for as many people as you can. And, like, you know, it's easier said than done. Like, dealing with depression is really fucking hard, but yeah, it's just really, really, really hard, and people with depression need so much support. And, like, if someone tells you that they're depressed, you'll see what I mean, but don't respond like the main character. Just don't. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Never say that. Do not ever say you've betrayed me to a depressed person or to anyone for not disclosing something to you. Because they're not disclosing it to you for a reason. They're not betraying you. They're just trying to cope with, like, an impossible situation. Like, you know, I've not disclosed mental health concerns to people before because I can't handle it, or I'm not ready, or I don't feel like I can trust them to respond well. Same reason why I don't disclose that I'm trans to some people, where it's just like, I'm not ready. I don't owe you this information. Like, depression is a medical issue, and if someone doesn't disclose their medical history to you, that's because it's their private medical information that you are not owed. No one's betraying you by not disclosing this information. They're just trying to cope with it the best that they can, and you've got to be, again, compassionate and like understand that when they're doing something, they're doing it for a reason, and even if you don't know the reason right away, you just got to sit and like listen to them. And you don't necessarily have to validate like the depression itself, but like even if someone's depressed for a real reason, don't invalidate that pain either. That's not actually going to help them. It's going to make them feel unheard and more depressed. Like if someone's depressed because of, like for me, I was depressed because of PTSD. Someone telling me that like, oh no, your brain's just lying, like you're loved, doesn't erase the trauma that shows me that no, people who should love me and say that they love me don't actually love me, or at least will hurt me regardless of whether they love me or not. And it can be really complicated between someone who's depressed because of a chemical imbalance and because that's just what the way their brain is and they need help, versus someone who genuinely, because of a situation they're in, is depressed for a reason. Like, yeah, Mara, yeah, the sim is, the protagonist is making it all about him. And that's why I'm not a clueless dating sim protagonist in real life. I'm better than, okay, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm better than that also because I've been through it. So I know what that feels like. And I know, like, being told that I have nothing to be upset about doesn't help. It just makes me feel unheard and more frustrated and more isolated and more alone. People don't disclose because it's dangerous. Don't compound that danger by centering yourself or invalidating their emotional and mental state. Yeah, there's a delicate balance between understanding that their emotions are coming from a really real place versus validating the actual self-hatred. So, like, also actions speak louder than words a lot of the time for this. So, if someone tells you they're depressed, right? And they're in a situation where, you know, they're homeless, they've just had a breakup, like someone's left them, like a trauma has just happened, or they've been poor for a really long time, or they've been through abuse. Like, don't just say like, oh, you're depressed for no reason, it's just a chemical imbalance, just take a pill and you'll be fine. That doesn't help. If someone's depressed, they just say like, I feel worthless, I feel like no one loves me, I don't want anyone to care about me because it's just a waste. Be like, hey, like, don't make their disclosure about you. But I find the easiest way to help, and obviously I'm not a therapist, and don't try and be a therapist if you're not, but I find like if someone discloses depression to me, I like to respond by being like, okay, here's some concrete examples for why your brain's wrong. Because like, if someone says like, oh, you don't actually love me, you're just saying that. It's like, okay, I'm not just saying it. Here's some ways I've demonstrated that I care. And here's some ways that I've demonstrated that I'm not just doing it because I feel like I have to. Here's some examples of me setting boundaries when I don't feel like I can like be there for you. And showing healthy boundaries and being like, hey, I'm overburdened right now. I have to say no to like being there for you right now because I have a lot of stuff going on right now. Here's some support, or like, this is what I can handle right now. This is what I can't. And then not drifting away and coming back later and being like, okay, I feel better now. Can I help you? And like demonstrating to them that like, when you say that you can be there for them, you mean it, and that you're not doing it out of an obligation, and you're not doing it because you feel like you have to. You're doing it because you genuinely want to. And it like this sort of a situation where she's like, oh, I don't feel like I'm worth it. It's like, or that like you're wasting your effort on her. It's like, well, don't think about it, me wasting my effort on you. It's not necessarily whether you're worth it, right? Like, you might not think you're worth it, but to me, you're someone who makes me happy. Seeing you happy brings me joy. And I care about you. And you may not think that you're worth being cared about, but I can't decide what I feel any more than you can decide what you feel. And I feel like I love you in whatever way. And like, I feel like if someone I care about is hurting, I want to make that better. And you know, you don't think you deserve it? I disagree. I think you do. You think I'm wasting my effort? I can multitask. I can care about a lot of people at the same time. And it's up to me to decide where my energy is best spent. And if it's on you, then that's where it's best spent. And I think, you know, demonstrating that, like, I really carefully consider where I put my energy and that I've decided to be with somebody helps. But at the end of the day, if someone's in a situation where nothing you say is helping, get them professional help. Like, you can't as a friend fix things like that are this serious without help and without the proper training for it. And even honestly, even if you have training in how to be a therapist, you can't necessarily be a therapist to your friends because you have bias and you can't step back and separate yourself. And even if you can, they can't step back and separate you from the situation. Making sure I had a mental health tag for the stream. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I tried to make sure of that because I knew I was going to get into this. But yeah, it's a tough topic, but honestly, at the end of the day, like, professionals exist for a reason. And I know it's easier said than done because obviously there's financial barriers and some therapists are fucking transphobic and racist and whorephobic and ableist and all of the shitty things. But I mean, getting professional help, or at the very least, like, not centering yourself and making sure that you're trying to, like, care about that person and be kind and understanding and trying to see where they're come from. And, like, another thing that's, like, really important in this sort of thing is realize that you can't always fix everything. You can't fix everybody. And, like, just being like, hey, you know, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea how to be there for you. I want to be there for you. I don't know what I'm doing, but I love you. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's important to just accept that you can't control everything. Because, yeah, I've definitely been in some situations that I've muddled through, and I don't know, maybe I've handled them well, maybe I haven't, but I don't know. It's a hard situation. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Azura. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try and care about me. It feels nice sometimes. But it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. Aha! That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else, too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone else in the club feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. Aha! You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori, but I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Azura, there's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. That's why I'm going to accept these punishments, because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. And yeah, when someone's like, I've tried everything and it still just hurts, like, fucking get help. Get a professional. Especially, these two are in, like, yeah, hugs for Sayori. These two are fucking in high school. Fucking talk to an adult, damn it. Like, an adult you trust, your parents. Like, fucking talk to somebody. Yeah. God. And, like, I feel like a lot of us in chat have been in this situation, either as Sayori or as the main character, like being depressed or being there for someone who's depressed. So often depressed people or people with mental health issues group together and try and support each other. And it's so hard when you have limited energy for yourself to try and reach out to somebody. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Zura. Sayori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. But if I make friends with everyone else, that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Zura. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this, Zura. Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in yourself to call me... Whoa, I skipped that. 1 second. If you have it in yourself to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. Sorry. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. If there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Zura. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm. And that's really scary, too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy, but it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. So just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri?
Thank goodness. You're a little early.
I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time?
No, I just got here, but I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell.
You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on the way home.
I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason.
It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you.
That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well?
Yeah, pretty much. At least I hope I got everything right.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I take Yuri to my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious.
It's so clean.
Aha! I cleaned it before you came over, so it's very considerate of you to do so. No. It would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would have been even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrists, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. Yeah, Yuri, don't go in a boy's desk drawers. You don't know what's in there. I was just spacing out. It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap as if making sure she's keeping track of them. I know that feeling. So, should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric elements. Atmospheric elements? You know, mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. Something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. Well, you can relax a little. Relax? I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah, like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that'd be really neat. What's that wooden thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not that familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs that you use, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes a cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole in the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Yeah, Yuri, I don't think you need that in particular, actually. I feel like you're good without more heart pounding. Don't you think that would be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She once again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are these for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will these be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang them from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you'd put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Azura. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Okay, so this is where the content warning for knives and blood happens. This will be for a bit. Again, you won't see anything super duper graphic, but you know, just trigger warning for knives and blood, and potentially I think self-harm as well. The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know?
You promise you won't be weirded out?
Yeah, I promise.
Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe.
That actually sounds beautiful and well crafted. Yeah, it sounds almost like Damascus. It sounds really pretty. But yeah, Yuri has a knife kink. Definitely, she's into knives. Yeah, the self-harm bit is implied here. There's not actually any like anything super graphic, but it will be implied. Just a bit, yeah. I mean, I'm not hot. Yeah, I'm like knife kink is not like the most weird kink I've ever heard of. I know several people in real life who have knife kinks. Some of whom may be in this room.
What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me.
No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you get about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. I think it kind of suits you.
Suits me?
Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that.
It is, isn't it?
Yuri relaxes her expression once again.
Would you like to hold it?
Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of the sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. This is where the blood happens. Ow!
Azura, why did you do that?
I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all.
It's my fault. I should have warned you.
It's not the weirdest note, and I mean, yeah, it's a thing. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled game. Yeah. I mean, I have kinks. We all have. It's the internet.
This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no.
A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pull my hand back.
Please forgive me. I wasn't thinking.
Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Don't worry, Yuri. Everyone's into big titty goth vampire chicks, so we're good. We are good. Yuri.
That is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry.
Sure, it was a little weird and it took me by surprise. I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Oh, what did I miss, lol? Yeah, so Yuri was like, hey, she was going to cut the ribbon and she pulls out a really pretty pocket knife and was like, yeah, I might be a little bit into knives. And the main character was like, yeah, it's a little bit intense, but yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not going to judge you. It's a really cool knife. And then she hands it to you to like play with and you test the tip of it and you cut your finger a little bit, which she then puts in her mouth and licks. So, vampire goth girl, you know, you see, yes. Totally normal. To be honest, I almost bonks in chat for Yuri. Yeah, massive bonks. I nearly cut the end of my finger off a couple months ago. It went from awkward revelation about minor kink into straight up sexy times. Yeah, basically. But yeah, I almost cut the end of my finger off with a knife by accident a couple months ago. I just like slipped and I cut my finger. And it was way worse than what's in the game. I had to super glue my finger back on. But yeah, it was definitely like a moment of like, because I tend to do that where I like, my instinct is like if I'm bleeding somewhere is to just lick it up. And I don't know why I do that. I just do. Anytime something's bleeding, I just stick it in my mouth. I've never done that to someone else who's bleeding though. I've never licked someone else. That's a little bit awkward, Yuri, but you know, she did say she was into knives and had a kink about it. So, I mean, vampire blood play kink is not, it's not unfamiliar. It's a little bit awkward if you haven't discussed it first. Yeah, consent. You should probably ask first. Azura, did you really just do that? Now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. Aha! I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Azura. Yuri giggles shyly. Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. Honestly, though, knives are really pretty. You just gotta be careful with them. And, like, don't just give them to idiot protagonists. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Oh, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. Also, for being such a sword lesbian, you have pitifully few swords. Yeah, you gotta work on that. I only have one metal sword and then like a wooden fake katana. And then a scythe. And then a hand scythe. Okay, goth. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so, let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, Yuri, please. Yeah, like, don't. Keep your knife kink to yourself and not in other people's bedrooms. Fucking weirdo. I love her, but oh my god. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for sunrise, then daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, we'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it'll be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different paint colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. Ah, I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. Take me, protagonist, yeah. A little bit. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person, even if it's something simple like reading. It doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Yeah, I really like, one of my favorite things to do with like friends or partners or whatever is to just like sit quietly in a room doing separate things but in the same room, and then like occasionally like sharing with each other. They can be like really relaxing and fun. Yeah, an introvert friendly extrovert. Yeah, you just like do stuff in a room. Or yeah, like the few extrovert friends I have are pretty good at just like, you know, doing activities at home. Or like not making it a huge big party thing, which, you know, I do miss now that I haven't been to one in a while, but they're definitely harder. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. Like streaming. Body doubling only for social activity. Yeah, basically. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Yeah! Sorry. Yuri reels back, and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. You just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. Yeah, it helps being disabled and not having the energy to be extrovert. Yeah. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. Oh, this bit's so fucking cute. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect it. Oh, you didn't expect me to be hot, Yuri. You didn't expect hotness to happen. With me and you alone in a room, you didn't expect hotness. Surprise! Hotness has occurred. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait. Huh? Just for a little longer. Feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. Almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. Or thoughts, am I right? She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers, wrapped around my wrist, send a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Fuck! And yeah, that is why you get hot towels on airplanes. They are so nice. So nice. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. Take me, protagonist, now! Yeah, just a little bit. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finish filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew! You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Lightheaded, Yuri. What I learned in paramedic school, air goes in and out, blood goes round and round. Any variation on this is a bad thing. Yes and no. Yes and no. Sometimes when the air doesn't go in, that could be nice. Sometimes, you know. No, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. Bonking me in my own stream, Salt. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, a little restriction is fun. Decriminalize horny. No horny jail here. We're anti-carceral when it comes to horniness. I am too. Thanks, Yuri. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. Ah, so you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we could have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be a little too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. You could bonk me with a stick all day, still horny. Consensual restriction, exactly, Pint. And yeah, the honestly, depending on where you bonk me, that's just going to make the problem worse. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is we got everything done, right? Yeah. So I shouldn't be disappointed or anything? Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. That doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out to the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow? Wait. I kind of say this without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want. You can come over or we can go out somewhere. I forgot that you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, Azura. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Oh my god, Yuri. God. Mara, I know about the medical things, so air and blood are things you know how to deal with. With great power comes great responsibility. Yes, I'm aware, Mara. Yes, I am fully aware. We did date for several years. I am fully aware. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori? Eh? Hi, Azura. Sayori? Just now we weren't... It's okay, Azura. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry. But we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori? I thought you didn't want to come over today. Well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me, so I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? This is the thing that embarrassed you the most? I mean, it was witnessed. That's the issue. You know, how much fun you were having with Yuri and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Azura? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Azura. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori? What I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But... Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Azura. Sayori, stop saying the things I hide deep in my soul. Yeah. And also, protagonist, stop foreshadowing. Don't say things. Reckless promise? Yeah, a little bit. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori? It's true, isn't it? I was so weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Azura, I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And... That's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now, and that's what I'm going to give you. Sayori, either I love you or you'll always be my dearest friend. Now, we have two options. We can finish out this scene the way we do it if we were actually dating Yuri, or we can stop here because this would be the very last, just her response to this would be the last thing we'd be doing before we go back to the beginning and do Natsuki's run. Because after this conversation ends the day, and then you start the next morning on your way to the festival, and that's when the triggering stuff really starts. So this would be, do you want to see what happens if you say that she'll be your dearest friend, or do you want me to just stop here and try and stick to happiness? Save here and then restart another save from the beginning. Okay, yeah. Because she does not respond well if you just say that she's your friend. Just because save files? Oh, no. I'm definitely starting over. Like, literally, I would not be saving this section because I've done Yuri's run. I will be going back. The game, I can save here too. I can do that. But the game tracks everything. Even when you go back through saves, it's tracking everything in the background. It's so weirdly programmed. But does anyone want me to do the friend option and see what that looks like, or do you just want to end it here? And either option's fine. It means you can restart from here. It doesn't really matter. Because I'm probably gonna... You're not invested in either outcome? Okay, cool. Because I like to go from here having romance Sayori the entire way. So I'm going to go through Natsuki, then I'm going to go through Sayori, and then go past this point with Sayori. Because I just like that version of events the best. It doesn't super change things. It feels a little bit emotionally better for me. So yeah, I guess if no one's really invested, it's definitely a hard bit to see. If you want to see that, you can look up other playthroughs. But I'm going to stop here then. And I'm going to load this save. Yep. So this is us writing our poem. The the first day, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna romance Natsuki and see her stuff. Enough emotions. Yeah. So we're gonna do Natsuki next, and restart everything. I'm actually going to go back to the main menu. So we're gonna go back to the start. I'm just gonna like talk for a little bit for the last 10 minutes so we can talk about how things went. But yeah, next time we are going to romance Natsuki, see what's behind her little sassy ass attitude. And things will go a little bit faster because I'm not going to necessarily sit through the same stuff again because a lot of the conversations will be identical. So I will skip through a little bit. It'll just be like conversations with Natsuki that'll be different. So I'll be focusing on Natsuki stuff, and we'll get through back to the point we just ended at with Natsuki. I probably won't go through the Sayori conversation again. I'll just, as soon as Sayori shows up and Natsuki leaves, and then I'll go back to the beginning again, and then do Sayori's playthrough, and then at the end of that, then I'll be doing the horror section. But again, no matter where we end on the Sayori run, I will stop at the end of that little section we were just on, and I won't do horror stuff in the same section as any of the romance stuff. I will never do that. When it switches into the like super traumatic horror stuff, that will always be the start of a new stream, just so that like people don't get inadvertently triggered coming in at the end. So yeah. How did everybody like the little section with Yuri? Like, she's so fucking cute. She's so cute. Like, she opens up so slowly, but when she like finally does, she's just like the moments with her, with like the beginning when you first read together and you're curled up next to her and she just sort of like starts leaning into you and starts opening up to you, to like her with the chocolates, and it's like this little teasing romantic like little moment, to like the bit with the face cloth on her face and her opening up her emotions to you and writing a poem for you and getting happier and being like, oh my goodness, like I feel so much better when I share my emotions with you, and like all that stuff. It's such a really satisfying progression from the beginning where she doesn't really want to talk to you up to the end where she's like really opening up and communicating and feeling comfortable sharing her interests with you, including stuff she's like more embarrassed about and more like, I don't know. It's just really cute. It's just really cute to see. And yeah, the stuff with Sayori is like super duper hard. Good thing is because we've gone through it once, we won't have to see that again. And I might go through it again a little bit when we do the Sayori one, just for immersion purposes. But yeah, like the Natsuki run, I'm going to be skipping through stuff a lot. Also, while I have you guys here, I was just wondering, are you like really invested in like doing Doki Doki every stream until we finish it, or like I can also sprinkle in some other stuff here and there just so like if that feels a little bit better. I am definitely hoping that like once I get to the horror section that I won't be doing those back to back to back. I'll do like a horror DDLC stream and then like something more lighthearted, just because I feel like I don't want my streams to be completely inaccessible for like a couple weeks. That might be a little bit unfair. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping to like, I don't know. You're just here for the vibes? Games are just the vessel of the vibe? Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I'll just focus on getting through Natsuki and Sayori romance sections, and then I'll start dabbling in other stuff. Oh, you need to chat with me about a game thing. Okay, cool. I am also really hoping to do either some like AMA streams about me or any topic about me. So like about my disability stuff, like my physical health stuff, my mental health stuff, about Satanism, about being non-binary. I definitely love to have some chats about that. And then I really want to do some streams where I do some like relationship advice stuff because I think that'd be fun. I'm gonna start with like going through r/ like relationships or r/ relationship advice and r/ am I the asshole. I really kind of want to like dig through those stories and kind of like deconstruct them a little bit from a more compassionate lens. Because I think a lot of people either point and laugh at those things or like don't have a lot of experience with what the conversation is about. Like, you know, there might be a kink or a situation people haven't experienced before. R/ am I the asshole cracks me up. Yeah, it can be really funny sometimes, like when someone's being an obvious Karen about something. But like some of those can be just so upsetting. And I kind of want to like go through and point out like when people are being ridiculous or like, I don't know. I think it would just be an interesting thing to do. And there's also some puzzle games I want to do on the stream. There's one I've never played before. I've just seen like the opening section of it called Manifold Garden. And it's like a fractal puzzle game that I think would be really cool. But yeah, I haven't made like any decisions yet. I unfortunately don't have any like consoles I can really stream from. I don't think. Like, I don't know. We have some in the main room, but I don't know how I would get them in here because I'm on a laptop, so I can't like dual monitor or anything. But just I guess let me know if there's anything you'd like to see from me, and I will figure it out. Just trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do next. Capture card, etc. Yeah, because right now I have a capture card, but my camera's on it. So if I wanted to do a thing, I'd have to maybe switch to the webcam, like back to the webcam to do that. But we shall see, because I don't want to have to. I don't have enough going on to plug in like a million capture cards. We'll talk soon. Excited for the next stream. Yeah, we can definitely talk about like Twitch, bots and things. I know you have to get going to your stream. In fact, Salt, we're gonna stream. We're gonna raid you in a second. My brain's tired after 3 hours. Okay. But yeah, everybody just stay in chat, and as soon as Salt goes live, we're gonna raid him because he's doing some more Super Rubber Ross World today, the hardest level. I've been hyping it up for Salt for some time now because I watched Ross make all the levels. And this one is definitely the one that is yeah, if he can get through this, he'll definitely beat the last level. But it's the second last level in the game, and I'm really excited to see him do it. It's part of why I'm like wearing this shirt. I don't know if you can see it, but God, the sun is going down. But yeah, it's a little ghosties reading a book. I figured a little Boo reading a book would be good for a DDLC stream. And then, you know, going into watching Salt. It's got a little ghosty from Pac-Man as well. And the spooky stories thing. It's a little Pac-Man and a little Mario, and it says scary stories. Spooky stories? It's spooky stories. But yeah. That is like so dark. I don't know if you can see that at all, but we're so badass. We're announcing our raid beforehand, like Vikings being like, see you same time next year, Irish monks. Yeah! Fucking... I'm so confident in my ability to raid that I don't need the element of surprise. I am that strong. I think he's live. I think he just went live. Yes, he did. So, stay in chat, and I am going to raid the True Salt King. Okay. I don't think I did that right. There we go. I figured it out. Yeah, I figured it out. I Figured it out. We're good. We're good. I got it. Okay. See you later. Bye.